In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a stop in the Lyft app. But before I even go over that, let me explain something. Drivers are independent contractors. They don't get paid by the hour. They do not get paid to pick you up. When you go to request your ride, you want to add your stop before you select that ride, before you process it. Reason being is because when we accept your ride request and you add a stop afterward, Lyft often does not update the amount that the driver is going to be paid on that trip. So if you add it after the driver accepted it, a lot of times they're going to cancel that trip before they even pick you up, because you should have added it before the driver accepted it. The driver may need to get to an appointment. They may need to go pick their kids up. They may need to get back home. All kinds of things. So they may have accepted your trip based off the time, distance, and where the drop-off was going to be. And therefore, if you add it after you get in the car, the driver may end the ride right there and ask you to exit the vehicle because you altered the details in the trip. And we actually can cancel if the destination changes and or you add a stop that takes you further out of the way and it doesn't work inside of the driver's time frame. So even though you think just because you paid for a service that you are entitled, no, you're not. We're independent contractors. You can do that with a city taxi driver and say, hey, I need you to stop here, or I want you to go this place or that place. You can do that with them. They're being paid by the hour. They're being paid for everything that they do. But in the cases of, and then they know what they're going to make, or because they know the meter's running, they know that they're going to get paid. At the same time, us as drivers, we've had situations where even though the passenger added the stop, what we were paid didn't change, even though the passenger paid more. So what you're going to do is you're going to click right here where it says, where are you going? Then you may verify your pickup address, which is the start. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on the plus sign. Once you click on the plus sign, you're going to put your stop on the middle line. I've seen people put their destination on the middle line and then put their stop on the bottom, and then they get pissed off when they're like, where are you going? And I verify the address, and then they're like, oh no, I messed up. It's supposed to be, the stop is supposed to be blah, blah, blah. And I'm on the highway now. Now I got to get off the highway, get back on the highway and everything. And they're thinking that they're being charged for all of this stuff. And they are by Lyft. But Lyft may not process everything and pay the driver. This is the biggest problem right here. So make sure that you enter in your information correctly, and definitely make sure that you enter in the right stop, the start position, because I get a lot of people that they don't actually put the right start. And so we arrive at the wrong pickup location. And now, especially when they're requesting a ride for somebody else. So number one, they don't click up here where it says change rider and change the rider, because you can only request rides for people who have Lyft accounts. All right. Now, I don't know if they changed that yet, but I do know, as far as I know right now, you can only add riders for people who already have accounts and request a ride for them. All right. So a lot of people, they don't hit that button. They don't hit the start. So what they do is they request a ride for somebody else, and they don't change the start. And we end up arriving at their location that they're at, because they never put their start in. So we arrive at their location, and then we call them, and then they're like, oh no, the pickup is supposed to be blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and right then and there, I already know they requested a ride for somebody else, because the start is literally going to be wherever Lyft is tracking your phone at. So if you're requesting a ride for somebody else, it's going to track it there, and the pickup is going to be there. And then now you're telling the driver that they got, you're somewhere else. At that point, I usually tell people, if you're requesting a ride for another individual, you have to change it in the app. I'm not supposed to be picking up Sarah, and then there's Big John trying to get in my car, and I can't verify whether they stole the phone or not. It doesn't even matter whether I talk to anybody or not, because I don't see a picture of you. Okay, so change the rider. But all in all, add the stop in the app. You just simply click on where are you going, then the plus sign. Add your stop on the middle line, add your drop off at destination. Make sure you verify your start, which is your pickup. Make sure you verify that. If you want to schedule a ride, you can go ahead and you can schedule the ride here, verify the date, which is in this box. You can click on it and change the date, or you can go ahead and you can change the time of the trip. So if it's today, you click on the time and you can change that to say 11:30 p.m. and then you can click on OK. Okay, then you go to next and so forth. It also tells you that you can cancel or edit for free up to 1 hour before the trip. Like I said, I cannot press point on enough that you need to add your stop before you request your ride. Because at the end of the ride, the driver can go into that previous trip. They have up to 24 hours, and then they can change the rating that they gave on the passenger. And as you can see, my last ride that I gave was at 8:50 p.m. And as of right now, it is 9:46 p.m. the following day. This is not today. This is the following day. And as you can see right here, and my bad, because I was on the wrong day. So this is March 1st. So I'm going to go back, and then my last passenger was at 2:18 a.m., which was yesterday. I can go ahead and I can take that rating and I can change that rating. As you notice, this person I gave a 4 stars to. Now, if I go ahead and I give them 3 stars, notice how that bottom changed. It says, don't match me with them again. So if the driver hits don't match me with them again, guess what? That person loses a driver availability. So tomorrow, their rides can cost them more money tomorrow. It can also cost them more money if I click off that they didn't wear their seatbelt. Remember, insurance companies, they want to know if the driver wears their seatbelt. And in this case, where you're dealing with Lyft, part of the fare that you're being charged, it is your commercial auto insurance. So if you are caught not wearing your seatbelt, it's going to make the prices for your rides go up because the insurance company looks at you as a liability of higher risk of some more severe injuries. So you're going to pay more on your rides because you don't wear a seatbelt. You can also end up getting charged more if you consistently get flagged by drivers that you left a mess in the car. So if every ride you're leaving crumbs on the seat, you're tracking pet hair and all kinds of other things inside the car, guess what? This is going to cost you money in the long run. Being rude to drivers, that's going to get you less than 4 stars, and therefore you're going to lose availability and it's going to cause more issues. Safety issues, if there's been any safety issues like you brought a weapon in the vehicle, you were violent towards the driver, all kinds of things, yelling out obscenities while the driver's driving, making them swerve or panic and everything. It's a lot of different safety issues that can happen. You're going to lose driver availability. The driver may give you 4 stars, may even give you 5 stars, but say that there was a safety issue and you just need to be aware of how to present yourself on the platform when you're taking rides. So it can affect what you're being charged on your rides based off of probability. And when your ratings go down, less drivers are going to accept your ride requests. This is going to cause you to have to pay more money for your rides. So you really want to pay close attention. But the basis of this video is to make sure that people understand that there's no way, it's not possible for you to request a ride and you don't know where you need to be going. It's impossible for you to request a ride and you didn't know that you need to stop at the store. It's not until after the driver accepts the ride that you out of nowhere now, oh yeah, I want to make a stop. All of a sudden after the driver accepts it and they're headed towards you. We know this is bullcrap. And there's potential issues right here. We figure, hey, if we end up picking you up, then you're probably going to say we did something that we didn't do because you know that the driver's seen that you added the stop. And so we know that we probably are not going to get a good rating. And adding a stop when you are in the vehicle, if the driver doesn't say anything to you, you're going to notice that the driver mood changes. And now you're going to be thinking that, oh, well, he has a problem because I added the stop. I can add a stop whenever I want to. Actually, we can cancel rides now. In the app, if a passenger changes, especially the drop-off, if the passenger changes that information or changes the stop information and drop-off information, whichever one it is, we can actually cancel the ride while you're in the car and ask you to get the hell out of our vehicle. Did you know that? we can tell you to get out of our vehicle. If you do not get out of the vehicle, we can contact the police and have them remove you out of the driver's vehicle. We can do that. So sitting here and trying to follow trends and scams that people have been doing for years, that stuff needs to stop. Yes, there are some drivers that do not want to make stops for passengers, but let me explain to you why. If you put a stop in the app and we pick you up and we take you to that stop and you exceed the wait time in the app, you exceed the wait time that Lyft gives you, the driver is supposed to end the ride. Okay? We are supposed to end the ride. Lyft says that drivers can end the ride. They want us to end the ride right then and there. You exceeded the wait time. You know the policy. You need to book another ride at that point. That's because they get the booking fee. They make more money off of it. And then they also want you to head to the next pickup location, especially if it is busy out. So you may not like the policy. You may feel like you're a paying customer. They don't care. They don't care. They're the cheapest app out. They're the cheapest app out. You're not even paying what you're supposed to be paying. They don't care. They don't care. This is why they don't say, well, you're being charged at a per minute rate the whole entire time that the driver is there to stop and everything. This is why they give the driver the option to go ahead and end the ride right there. Now, if we could charge the passengers $1 a minute, then we would do that. And I think that's what Lyft needs to do. Lyft needs to make it to where that these stops, number one, should be 3 minutes, not 5. Because we don't even get paid for the first 2 minutes. All right? So it should be 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, you can be charged $1 per minute wait time charge. Now, the driver can't change anything. They can't discount you, none of that. This is what Lyft is putting out there as their policy. So if that person goes in the store and they decide, they see one of their friends, hey, what's up, blah, 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 and they're sitting there talking, the driver can be sitting there smiling. Bet. They took an extra 10 minutes on this stop. Now, instead of me getting paid $4 for this ride, I'm getting paid $14. Cool. See, this is when drivers, they start to care about it. Not only that, but also passengers, if they don't want to go that route, passengers should be able to add money to keep the driver waiting. All right. So either they can agree to what the driver wants to continue to wait, which would be $1 per minute in my case. That's what I would charge. But if the drivers want to, they can do 50 cents a minute. So now if the person is in the house or at a store and they're taking extra time, it's not that big of a deal. We'll sit there and we'll wait. But as it is right now, if you leave somebody at a stop, 9 out of 10, the passenger is after the ride is going to go in the ride, get help with another issue, report a safety issue or something like that, and then they're going to say that the driver was under unsafe driving, intoxicated driver, discrimination, inappropriate remarks or exchange. That's what they're going to say. They're going to try to report their driver, and then the driver's going to automatically get deactivated. What the passenger doesn't realize is that once that happens, you're ruining the driver's ability to earn an income for their family because the driver is following Lyft's policy. They are not going to pay the driver once that timer expires. They're not paying the driver anything else. And we can't sit here and rely on a passenger to maybe possibly try to tip. All they do is they just say, oh, my bad. This is an example of how we receive ride requests whenever Lyft sends the ride request to the driver. As you can notice down here at the very bottom, it says right here, you can see where I'm pointing at. It says that this person is verified, meaning that they actually verified their account, but also that you see the 5.0. This person has a 5-star rating from Lyft. I mean, not from Lyft, but from other drivers. They've been consistently getting 5 stars since they've been on the platform. All right, so this person right here, drivers already feel like, okay, well, this person doesn't play games. Now, if a person with 5 stars asks me to make a stop and that they're going to tip me in the app, I'm comfortable and I'm confident that they're telling the truth. But when I look at this person's profile, when I receive the ride request, I'm already contemplating that there's going to be an issue because this person, not this particular individual, but the person that I got the ride request for has a 4.3 rating. When they ask me to make a stop and they say, I'm going to tip you in the app, I know that they're lying. I know that they're lying. All right. And I know that they're lying because they always do this. That's why they have a 4.3 rating. Maybe they do have intentions on, tipping the driver or whatever, but then after the ride, they just forget. And that's too ironic for me as a driver. Now, if the passenger is smart, they would go down to their settings inside of the passenger app, click on settings, and then they would set a default tip. I don't think you can do it while you're in the ride. However, you can click on default tip, and then you can set the tip amount 10%, 15%, 20, 25%. Now, if you've done that already, the driver has no reason to not trust you. All right. You can change the tip amount. It says update it anytime during the ride. 100% of the tip goes to the driver. Okay, so you're in the ride. So now, when me reading this, I know that you can go ahead and you can update this anytime during the ride. Anytime. Now, it's not going to show on my end. It's not going to show on my end. So it's better for you to actually show me in the app that you've already added this tip and did this tip. Now, before the ride, it'll show that you've already added the pre-tip. During the ride, if you do anything, it's not going to update it in my app, so I can't verify it. And then I can't access the screen anyway until I come to a complete stop. So, again, it's better for you to do this post-ride before you even do the ride. But if you're going to do this during the ride, then you can go ahead and you can do it during the ride. So it makes a lot more sense for you to do it this way versus any other way. So by all means, you can take my advice or you can choose not to take my advice. It's up to you at the end of the day. But one of the things that sucks is that if you're dealing with a driver that the driver just doesn't trust you because you have a low rating. Again, you don't pay for pickup. That's not included in your charges. Lyft is not charging you for that. And I want them to start putting that out there in plain writing before the driver accepts the ride, or before the passenger requests the ride request. I think that they should make sure that they verify that with passengers every single time. And it should be a pop-up screen that says drivers will not be compensated for picking you up. Would you like to compensate? Passenger can say yes or no. Now when they select yes, the tip screen pops up. It's that simple. I mean, it's not complicated, you know? And we want to know if the passenger tipped before the ride. We don't want to take the risk of passengers tipping after the ride because, again, when we don't know if Lyft is going to really give us the tip, right? So, again, the driver is a little bit confused when the passenger says, oh, I already added the tip. A lot of people don't know to go in their settings and that they're going to set the default tip. And it's very rare that we see this. I've done thousands of rides before I ever seen a tip that was already included. I did a lot of scheduled rides before I seen anything that on the app that showed that the tip was included. You know, so again, these things are really confusing to drivers when passengers make claims like this, and we don't have a way of verifying it. I've had people tell me before that I'm gonna tip you on the app, but I never seen the tip pop up, or that they already tipped in the app, and I'm just like, I don't think so, because a lot of people do not know that they have this option. Like I said, I did well over 7,000 rides before. No, I'm confident in saying that I did over 8,000 rides before I ever seen a tip on a ride before I accepted that ride request. I'm serious. And it just behooves me. And I think the first time I ever seen it was a scheduled ride, and it showed how much I was going to make on the scheduled ride if I accepted it. And it also showed that there was a bonus on that ride, which was only 80 something cents. And then that a passenger also added a $8 tip on there. And I'm like, people can do that? And that's when I started exploring the passenger app, and I found out that passengers could do it. And that's why I have another video where I've explained that passengers can go ahead and they can add a pre-tip before the ride. It's just the fact that Lyft doesn't, show a tutorial or show them on a video, and people aren't even thinking and wondering, oh, I wonder if I can add a pre-tip. I've had passengers say, man, they should let passengers pre-tip before the ride. And before I knew this information, I was sitting there like, yeah, that would be nice. Now, when people say that, I say, actually, you can. You just go into your settings, and when you click on that, it's going to allow you to add your pre-tip in there. So thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Also, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.